We're back. Yeah, they can't see it. They can't see us. They can't see what's happening. We're in Into Space. DreadLore's Into Space with the cast: Bill, Ken, Drizzle, Daniel, Andrea, and sometimes others. Scored by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to our Patreon, Tim Roberts, Daniel Holker, and Nostalgic. This is art media by Couchfire Media, and the story and all that stuff, that content that you love, the DreadLore book is Replay Productions, and they want you to subscribe to become a citizen. We are playing Into Space tonight. It's sort of our one-shot /through game that we do when all the Red Writ players can't be in and play, and that's where we are. Arbiter Bill is mukbanging, so we are going to describe a little bit about our characters to start us off. I play a character called Dolby Newman. He is a Marine through and through. He knows more about killing than really much else. Why they decided to put him in charge? Well, I think that goes without saying. It's not who you know, it's who you know and who you kill. Or it's not what you know, it's who you know and who you kill. I don't know. Andrea?
Katrina basically thinks that Dolby is a sociopath, and so she is coming up with whatever. She's trying to come up with a plan to get away from the situation as quickly as possible. Is basically where she's at right now.
Keep on talking about her. I'm not done with the sandwich.
She thinks she's on board a crew of. I mean, she doesn't really like realistically. She doesn't interact with, die-hard Marines very often. She mostly deals with other mercenaries or clients or whatever. So the
clients.
The level of fanaticism of the Marines kind of creeps her out a bit. So basically, I mean, as far as she's concerned, she's kind of on board a ship of lunatics, basically, is how she's feeling right now. She's just like, so yeah, she is essentially in the mindset of, okay, I mean, I'm kind of stuck here for the moment because there's nothing else I can do, but the moment I have an opportunity, I'm gone. Yeah.
Good. Hooker? Who is Burgess, Lieutenant or Private Burgess? And what are they doing?
Private Burgess is a man with a first name and a last name. But over the years of sleeping in cryosleep and having his brain halfway scrambled, he can't remember which one Burgess is. And he forgot the other.
Interesting.
I've got more sandwich. You guys got to keep on going.
Private Burgess also, on occasion, will eat a sandwich, even if it came from a box.
What is Burgess doing in this moment?
Burgess has his eyes on a needle and a thread. that has tied up two prisoners. He hasn't told other people yet why they are bound by threads. He's just going to let them think that they're really, really weak.
Okay, real quick. Here's something. What about instead of a boxed sandwich, it's a canned sandwich?
A
That's probably the case. There's probably some weird vacuum sealed product in between two slices of bread that's probably been like lab grown or something, and it's probably halfway stale now. That's what passes for a sandwich out here.
Sure. They have marine. I think they have canned sandwiches. I think that's the thing. You can get a fresh canned sandwich.
Dude, I've seen like
MRE kind of thing.
Like canned bread is so weird.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it and it's so weird.
Canned bread.
Open up the tuna thing and there's a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dolby is
Essentially,
in this
yeah.
moment doing what he can to get this guy to come over, and this person, his name is Wilhelm. Willem, to come over to the Cool Mint and sort of join our ragtag group of stragglers, even though he doesn't trust him, and he doesn't trust anybody in his ship.
Really. No, I was gonna say.
So you might as well just go with it as best you can. I think he trusts. Cherokee Sue.
What about Skip?
Skip Trace, he has a lot of faith in Skip. And Burgess, he's concerned about, but he trusts Burgess.
Yeah, Dolby actually shows real concern about Burgess.
But fully trusts Burgess. Like,
yeah,
there's no question that Burgess is done a little too much, has dedicated too much of their life to being a Marine, and that makes Dolby calm. Like, he knows who that person is, even though they do random, sometimes strange acts for no reason.
of boxing.
And you let Burgess know who that person is?
But I don't want to unbox any of what's going on in Burgess's mind. I'll leave that up to Burgess.
Mm. We montage. You guys are all on the Cool Mint at this point. You've made your way over. We'll say that the two prisoners, you guys don't have a stockade or a brig, I should say. But you could do some kind of makeshift brig, either in the locker room, maybe the mess is a better way. Left side of the ship has a storage room, which you could also lock them in. And that's maybe the safest away from systems that they could go. The other thing you could do is you could convert some of your bunks, which you don't really use because you're in cryo all the time. That's up to you.
Or we could put them in cryo.
Or
You could also put them in cryo.
in the airlock.
You could keep them in the airlock as well.
I think that might
So-
be a good plan.
Let's name where you guys are, and just in general, what you've done. Remember, this is the montage, so it's not about bidding. It's not about really changing the scene. It's just saying the kind of things that you could have actually accomplished. So, for example, hacking the system is beyond this. Sitting down, eating a sandwich, perfectly fine. Hacking the system, that's in the Dread. Andrea.
Katrina will actually look over at Sue and say, so what's going on anyway?
Where are you guys?
Uh,
She's still waiting over by the airlock for them to finish.
Okay,
all
we'll
there.
say that time has passed. Time has passed. We're moving past
Okay.
this moment. Like, you can have
Okay,
that
gotcha.
scene, but it needs to be forward, or else we're going to go minute to minute to minute, and the session's going to end with you opening a door. So we got to get past it. Everybody's on the ship. Where are you?
I feel like I need to have a conversation with Katrina about her intentions aboard and next steps of where we are going. I want to fill her in a little bit and our mission, and I might spend a narrative point because I'm concerned about Burgess to have him around for this thought process and see what they think.
You don't need to spend.
Oh, good.
Because it's the because it's the montage.
Yeah.
It's all the little bits and pieces so you guys can get to the next main idea.
Sure.
Right?
You know,
It sounds like you actually have some things to say and do that matter.
Yeah.
But let me just drive it for a second, and I'll put you guys in a place where you can do that.
good.
Okay. You all get back on the ship. Katrina, you attempt to talk to Archangel and Cherokee a little bit. They won't talk. There's a point where even Cherokee says, "Hey, look, shut up! Like you're disrupting us. Either help or get out." He says it in a very nice way because he's Cherokee Sue, but it's made really clear that you're not going to get anywhere with them. Burgess is zoned in on the mission of getting these guys to some kind of not safety but secure place, as is Alice Brick. So we'll say that you actually follow them up into the crew quarters on the port side of the ship, and that's where you guys will be when you attempt to talk to Burgess. And so you guys can actually have that scene. The two captives have been sat down and have been told to sit there. Alice will be standing at the door, guarding it. Doors open, and you guys will be a little bit toward the back of the ship. You can see almost down this hallway Alice standing at the door, and the two prisoners just out of earshot. There's an atmosphere here, so your helmets are off unless you're talking on the radio. Down below, still in the airlock or near the airlock, are Archangel and Cherokee working, and Dole and Josh are in the cockpit. We'll say Willem and Skip Trace and Dolby will be in the mess. So it's montage. This is role play type stuff. There's really no bidding. If you want to bid, we'll drop into the dread. Actions on you guys.
I probably wouldn't talk if Willem was there. I don't know Willem, and from what I know about the social interactions of Willem, I would probably have Willem not exactly locked in a room, but certainly occupied.
Yeah, where do you want to put him?
I would get him to spend a little time with Brick.
Okay, so Brick is presently guarding the two prisoners. Willem will be standing next to her.
And then Brick and Skip could be there as well.
Sure. So Skip and Alice are there. That makes sense. All right. Action's still on you.
I would imagine you're probably wondering what the mission of this ship is, Katrina. I know that you're looking to make some money, and I don't know what you need from us. You know, if you need to get off the ship or if you were on a mission or something like that. But what are your next plans. We could definitely use somebody with the skill set and certainly some notoriety as your family has on this ship, but we're definitely approaching into some very strained territory. Hopefully not violent, but
So you guys are on your way to the mess as this conversation's happening.
Okay. Well, my job was to was to drop off that cargo that I had. So what was all that about anyway? I mean, I woke up after everything had happened, so what happened anyway? Like, what happened with that? Where'd those two guys come from?
With the two guys? There's the ship we ran into. It had a big hole in the side of it. I'm not entirely sure, but this geeky entity, this geeky kid, I guess, popped out of nowhere and put a hole in it, from what I gather. And I really don't know. I think they're pirates, so we should at some point go and figure out what's on that ship. But they're from pretty far away, so I doubt they're the same pirates as took your loot that you had. I mean, I don't know. We haven't searched the ship. But I think the question is...
Well, I mean, we're out here in the black. I mean, why would you even say that? That sounds kind of... It sounds to me like you have some kind of suspicion that they might be the same pirates.
I don't know. I mean, you're welcome to go.
Well, anyway.
And look,
what
were you what's your cargo, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, I wasn't told, and I didn't ask questions. I was paid quite well to not ask questions.
I understand that. So I bet you're probably looking for a way to recoup your losses.
Yeah, and that, and really, I mean, at the end of the day, money talks, as they say. So, if you guys can pay, I'm perfectly happy to play along.
Well, this planet we're going to, we're about a month out. They're pretty mineral rich, I guess. And if we can get the minerals to flow, I think that I'm sure someone of your nature could find a way to capitalize on having
mineral
that
rich and a bunch of Marines going to a mineral rich planet. Oh, you're going to that cobalt mine, aren't you?
Yes.
Well. I mean, not much more than the average Zen. I heard all about their little, I don't know if rebellion is the right term. Their little, scuffle with the Soul Authority, and, as one might. I mean, that was, that's kind of news. There's not much to talk about sometimes when you're, on stations, but stuff like that tends to get around, as it's a point of excitement. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, really? But I'm sure with you guys going there to solve the problem, I'm sure that it'll,
I mean, we're hoping to avoid a scuffle. A scuffle is what we do, but I feel like if there's an agreement, maybe that's better than a scuffle for everyone involved. I don't want a nation.
Sure hope so.
That's not my, practiced hand, but it seems like maybe someone like you could help with convincing powers that be.
I don't think my name will be much help, in this particularly if someone is all about independence and such. I think my family might actually have the opposite effect, really.
Have you been
I
to?
mean, my grandfather's a little infamous, for
Yeah, no, I
for
know
sort of
what happened.
betraying the.
And maybe you have some idea of how to find a family that's on the planet that would be amicable to, maybe you have a family connection to someone who has got some, how money travels together, right? You aristocrats are all kind of.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a small world. There's the
Oh,
1% of what's going
I
on.
mean, I can't claim
Have
I
you-
can't claim to know much about this planet in
Have-
particular. I've never been
have
out
you
this
been
far,
to-
really. I stick closer to the core, to be honest.
Have you been to? You've never been to Novus Terra?
No, I've never been out this far.
And-
I like to stick more towards, Prime itself, or if I can help it. Growing up the way I did does tend to have an effect on the refinement of one's palate, you might say. And I am not terribly fond of the tubes of
It's funny-
the tubes of nutrients that
You
you
get
guys
the right
use to
ones. Some of
survive
them
out here.
aren't that good. The meat is not great. The beef meat is okay, but there's one called I think it's like turtle. That's like really good. That's so good. That's my favorite one. Just the
And
right amount of flavor.
she'll actually sort of pat his shoulder a little bit.
There were only a few
yeah.
left. I mean, I if you get one of those, you're really having a good Saturday night there.
I
Billy
know.
takes a swig
And I
of
understand.
his-
I understand, but you see, growing up the way I did I should say, well, you see, I got real meat actually quite often. So I mean, it's okay. It's fine. You can live off it, I suppose. But one does get a hankering for the finer things in life, you might say.
I've never had real meat, but I've been to Prime, and I have a little stash of real alcohol. Now that's something.
Ooh.
If you've ever had would you like? I'll hold out my flask and offer Katrina. Would you like a nip?
I'm good actually. Just because of my profession, I avoid this stuff because alcohol in space does not mix very well. But I will not judge if that's what you like to do. I mean, when you're talking about space, I mean, really, you already have trouble, sometimes distinguishing, what direction you're going. And you really, when you're moving around as fast as I do sometimes, you don't need any extra help with that. So
Sure. Oh,
I like to keep myself very centered and, and directionally unchallenged.
I understand that. I mean, you clearly like the things that aren't necessarily the normal things that we all normal citizens like. I think that anybody who enjoys contraband meat is definitely of a different class than myself.
Contraband? Please, sir. We have our family, because of our merits, we have special requisitions. So nothing contraband about it. We just, well, I feel like I'm gloating now, so I'm just gonna stop while I'm ahead. But yeah, I might be able to help you depending on how, I don't really know much about this planet, but if I feel like I can be of assistance, I, grease my palms, as it were. I'll do my best to
What kind of
find a
things
way
are you good
to
at?
line
What is
my
your
pocket.
specialty? I mean, I don't know anything about you. Burgess,
Ooh.
have you ever had contraband meat? I mean, meat, like real meat? Meat? Like
What?
Like animal meat?
Have I ever had animal meat?
Yeah. Like real animal meat, not like tube meat. Like
When
meat
was I
meat.
not eating animal meat? Well,
Okay.
you mean that's not an animal?
It's all
What
it's
was I
like
eating?
postage and no perky, and it's all byproduct of protein based nourishment. It's
Might
actually
be
better
algae
for
too.
us.
I've seen the algae vets. They're actually
Yeah,
like
algae,
honestly, if you've ever been to an algae farm, it's really fascinating. But
It is.
anyway, point being, yeah, it's Have you ever had meat before? No, I guess if you're that confused
I've
about
never-
it, probably not.
Never have. I don't know what real meat tastes like, but that's really fascinating. I think you are a fortunate fortunate woman. What is your skill set? What are you good at?
Well, my primarily specialty is extravehicular, movements. So I'm really good at shipboarding. Not never piracy. I would never do such a thing. But
Clearly.
sometimes, every once in a while, there's enemy craft that just needs to, be taken over sometimes.
hold on.
And
I just had a thought.
hmm.
I've never ever had meat in real life. But we have a couple of prisoners.
No,
on
that's
board,
cannibalism.
and they might cause trouble.
You don't want to eat other people. You get like weird diseases from that.
What was it called? The I know. I read a term for that once.
Everybody drink, hydrate.
Oh, I'm out of drink. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. There, I just stuck some spit. I hydrated. But yeah, I've heard before that it is actually, as long as you don't need the brains, it's mostly fine. I personally wouldn't recommend it. Not that I've ever had human meat before.
I was gonna say, have you had human meat?
No.
I heard a
AK
story-
long pig. AK.
I heard a
long-
story once about
looking for. Thank you. Damn it.
I heard a story once about this meat that you could get in a can, right? And then somehow it turned into annoying people with mail. I still don't know how that works. But apparently before I don't know, they turned this can of meat into emails or something. That they just sent to people that didn't want it. I mean, I would have wanted it. It's meat.
As you guys see, the fascist posters all around, and spam is actually a staple in the SSA empire.
Spam, 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 spam,
Wait,
spam.
it's actually a question. Let's wait, hold on, real quick. Now this may sound stupid, and it may just be my privilege, like in actual reality. But like, what is spam actually made out of? I've never actually eaten spam.
Testicles.
Long pig. Short
So,
pig.
short pig. So, as you guys converse for a while, chatting in the mess, Burgess has walked in, and you guys are all sitting down. You notice that Burgess is kind of looking at the tubes of meat. Maybe even all of you are eating, or perhaps not. About an hour has gone by. Dolby, you get a message in your comm from Josh. Lieutenant, so we're still in synchronous spin with this derelict ship. Do you want us to break this and head toward the planet? The moon? I don't exactly know where we're going we haven't been scanned, but there is some activity going on in the system.
Yeah. Is there a way we can kind of slingshot this ship slowly? Oh, I guess to maybe land accidentally on the city.
I'm sorry, what?
Can you get with engineering? How are they doing with Alfred? Is that still a no-go?
As Josh goes, I don't know. Alfred, I thought he went offline about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I know, but so he's still offline. Would you send engineering down to help?
Yeah, I will. As you hear movement. And then you can hear Dole walking through the ship as actually he doesn't walk, you just hear him sort of clanking because there's no gravity.
Yeah.
So you want us to stay in the spin?
Yeah, for now, but what do you see?
Well, it's difficult to see. You mean sensor sweeps?
Yeah, what are your sensors telling you?
So we're on passive mode, so as to not bring attention, of course. Standard procedure. There's some radio traffic coming from, it looks like, a couple of the different moons of that gas giant, and I think, and I can't be certain, but I think there is at least one capital ship of some sort that's near one of the moons.
Is there a way that you can continue to fly behind this unpersoned ship and just be an echo of what they are? So if we are scanned and somebody comes to investigate, maybe they would investigate that ship first.
There's a moment. To a degree, yes. We are moving through the system just very, very slowly. He kind of pauses. It would take a very good scan sweep to pick us up right now. We probably look like just charged particles. But if we're going to be moving anywhere, we'll have to kick on the thrusters.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Do you think... Wish we could get this ship in tow and kind of shoot it out ahead. Maybe work with the guys. Figure out, like, I'm kind of dealing with a lot here. I got 4 new passengers on our ship. And so we got to work with what we need to do at home before we start trying to intervene into whatever's going on out there. I want to get our ship shape first, and then, if they start going to war with each other, I would like to know. If somebody comes out to investigate what's going on here, I would like to know. But at this moment, I think we have some time to just do a little planning, a little strategy.
If you want us to be able to tow, or to tow this vessel in front of us, we'll have to stop it from spinning somehow.
And is there maybe
we could push it, I suppose, but as you see, he's sitting there like trying to figure out a way of doing it. You could bid Josh to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah,
it is very complicated, obviously.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice if Alfred was back online. It would probably be better that they worked out all the calculus and trigonometry
through your comms. Now listen, you told me to turn him off. Archangel comes on. I mean, I'm just saying, I did exactly what you told me to do. If you didn't want the computer off, then why did you tell me to turn off the computer? Yeah,
but I didn't want him off. I just want him to be and I didn't know you were gonna do it. It was not an expectation. It was kind of like just he was bugging me. He's been bugging me for years now.
It's a cut scene. Archangel does this to Cherokee. Cherokee's like,
Alfred's just been a pain in my ass. I mean, but what do you do?
Turns out,
Go ahead.
It turns out that Alfred, I mean, he's not bricked like I thought. It looks like he actually has some subconscious. I mean, again, there's like a pause. The cutscene is Cherokee kind of looking at him. Okay, not subconscious. Passive, really passive, kind of like if someone were sleeping. Does that work? Cherokee's like, all right, passive intelligence, sort of.
You mean robotic
Alfred's-
intelligence?
Right. God. At any rate, he's still technically active, just on a passive way. Actually, it kind of looks like he's been doing some stuff
What's he
passively.
doing?
Well, I haven't found that out. I just found out that he was doing it. You know, he's not a light switch, Lieutenant. You don't just turn it on and off. Were you one of those kids who turned on and off the lights up and down, up and down? Did it ever break? Do things break in the future? Cherokee's like, all the time.
As Dolby turns on his laser sword. No, just kidding.
You are in the mess because you cannot teleport.
Yeah, no.
So in the mess, okay.
I jest, but
Katrina.
certainly Dolby thinks about turning
He
on his
thumbs the
laser sword.
laser sword.
His tick, he's got a tick. He's like tapping on his laser sword.
Katrina obviously only like hearing presumably half this conversation, unless you like.
No, you can hear it
of...
because he doesn't have the helmet on, and you can kind of hear this higher pitched voice coming. You know, there's no resonance because it's coming from an earbud. Like,
So what exactly happened with Alfred anyway?
Well, apparently, Archangel decided to turn him off because I said so.
He just said
But
you
I
wanted
don't remember
to
that.
turn him off.
Why?
You asked me to turn him off.
I mean, what was
I don't remember that.
why'd you want Alfred off?
Just because Alfred is bothersome. That's all. He's a helpful bother. It's just I wanted a little peace for just a minute. Like in space, you wouldn't think it's so.
You
loud.
get another incom thing.
Freaking loud.
Josh jumps in. Lieutenant, we've just been scanned.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from the second moon. I looked it up. It looks like a place called Terra Novus.
Isn't it Novus? Oh, Terra Novus. Isn't that Novus Terra?
As he sits there. Oh yeah, Novus Terra. Cutscene of him like squinting at the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our destination. That's where we're headed. That's our.
Well, it was a broad sweep.
Point. Maybe is there any way we can make them think that this is? How long would it take a ship like that to get out here from Novus Terra?
A ship like ours would take a couple hours.
Yeah, and one of their ships, a couple 100-year-old freighter, or whatever they.
Let me think. Is this something I would ask Alfred? He mutters.
Couple 100-year-old.
I mean, light sails haven't changed too much. Maybe 4 or 5 hours max. But if they have any ships nearby, and that capital ship out there could get here sooner.
Yeah. How do you feel against that capital ship?
In a gunship, not good.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's 200-year-old weapons, they're still going to pack a wallop, and their shields we might be able to get through them.
All right.
Just because we have newer, more powerful weapons, but if they have capital ship shields, it's scale 2, and we have scale 1 weapons.
Yeah.
Rena will actually
So-
speak up a bit. Can you hear me? Do that.
You hear Josh. Who are you talking to?
Apparently, Katrina has some knowledge of taking other ships, so maybe we get Katrina to help you.
What's the relative mass of our ship compared to the other ship?
Well, we haven't done an active scan, so I don't quite know, but several times, possibly 100 or more times what our mass is.
No. Sorry, the ship we're orbiting, essentially.
The pirate ship. It's around comparable. We're
So,
likely heavier.
Could we, in the when we after we do like a couple more rotations, and obviously you're the one having to do the calculations on this, would it be possible to break away from the ship on the backside of the spin and then hide in its mass shadow?
You hear some. It's possible. We're in a synchronous spin with it, so breaking its spin is easy. We're not tidally locked to it or anything.
Yeah.
What I mean is,
try to make
would it
us
be
more
easy?
like an
Would you
echo.
be able? Well, would you be able to Would you be able to stop our spin around it, opposite to the moon, and then push us ferry us away from the other ship while still hiding in its shadow, so as to
Absolutely.
be less detectable? That would be my personal recommendation as a course of action, and hopefully the other ship won't have been able to detect us specifically, so far as they would think it was just the other ship that they saw.
You hear Josh go, Lieutenant?
Is what she's saying true?
Yes, that's exactly. It's actually a very good idea.
Well, do that, I guess. We'll be
All right.
if somebody.
Are we bidding Josh to do this?
Potentially. Is there
Yes.
a way that if somebody comes to investigate this floating ship that we could get the drop on them, Josh?
Well, it depends. It depends on how long it takes. We can move away from. It looks like it's called the Rorigan. We can move away from the Rorigan, but unless we kick on the thrusters, the fusion thrusters, we're not going to get very far relative to, well, space. So if they just look out the window, they could see us. And short range scanners could easily see us once they get up on it.
Sure, but we'd see them coming, wouldn't we?
If we do active scans, absolutely. Passive, we should see them, unless they're being very tricky. The capital ship we
guessing
would
that-
definitely see.
I'm guessing that we're pinged at the very least. Is there an asteroid or some kind of thing that we can hide behind and make the move?
Let me see as he messes around. Do you guys want to bid, Josh, to be doing these things? You have
Yes.
to bid
Yeah.
your NPCs to do stuff.
I think
Okay.
so.
All right. Josh will throw down to find some kind of astral body. So we'll have Hulker roll me a D10. Andrea, roll me a D8.
Can I aid him with my?
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
That's a 4 from me.
I got an 8.
And then
Grace.
I'll be
So-
back momentarily.
Cool. So that's 3 successes. With Grace, what is the die you give him?
D8.
Okay. And how do you aid him?
Well, I'm a career soldier, and I've been in combat many times before. So I'm going to tell him, buddy, it's all about how you move. So they might think that maybe the way that we veer off this, that we're a bit of shrapnel or some kind of explosive cargo to shoot off the side. So if you could kind of shoot us off, maybe the explosion triggered some kind of alert.
I could mimic that. It'd be a lot easier if, as you hear Archangel pop in again. Yeah, guys. Okay, I get it. You want your damned RI. Okay. I'm working. All right. What do you bid to give him your grace die?
Career.
Holker, will you roll me a D8? Long pig.
3.
3 successes? No, obviously just a 3.
Yeah.
Can I use a violence proficiency because I know that
Yep.
I know that that there was an explosion when Archangel hit that ship, and maybe this is like an aftershock kind of explosion.
I rolled a 1.
Can I use another violence proficiency?
Yep. Roll it again.
Roll it again, huh? All right.
All time. I'm going to
I doubled the last roll and got a 2.
I'm out of proficiencies. I can't
Not
do it
successes. 2.
I'll give him a proficiency,
Roll it again.
even though I'm not there.
All right. Here we go. I got a 6.
Hey, so that's a success. All right, so 4 successes. So the threshold to pull off this maneuver and to have the scans going to find some sort of astral body or some sort of space effect that could aid you was 3 to get a clean success. If you guys are near a porthole, you notice the stars shift for a second. You feel the inertial dampeners kick in and kind of a swimming in your stomach that you guys are all very used to. Your mag boots cling to the floor as the ship rotates. You feel the blood pull from your legs into your head for a second. As the spin stops, the ship rights itself. From outside the ship, the movements are actually far less dynamic than they feel inside the ship. Josh does this expertly. This is the kind of thing that could cause someone to have an aneurysm and that kind of thing. But you guys are strapping Marines, so you're good. As the ship, the Cool Mint, rights itself and takes a vector that perhaps a piece of shrapnel or a piece of hull would take, slowly listing out away, ferrying away from the Rorigan. It's in such a way that the Rorigan's mass acts as a bit of a cloak, and the Rorigan would be the first thing that even a canny pirate or space adventurer would scan. All right. We press on a little bit.
Burgess, what do you know about engineering? Are you just a Marine through and through? I know you're a medic. What else you got?
I used to fix shoes.
A shoe fixer. You know what? My spacesuit, is just a little tight in the shoe. Could you help me with that?
You hear
Yes,
Archangel say, hear Archangel go, "You're a cobbler?" Over comms.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Lieutenant, okay, so it looks like Alfred is contained. I can't do anything about the personality. You know, it's kind of funny. As primitive as this technology is, no offense, his main code isn't actually on this ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Where
looks
is it?
like it's stored here, and it's a backup. It actually wasn't that hard once I figured it out. Anyway, he's contained in there. You can talk to him. I don't think he's too happy about the situation.
Yeah. Well, Alfred is never happy. He's always unhappy. That's his thing. So what do you mean? Like he's well, I'm sure that the SSA has a backup of all of their RI.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about with the SSA, but yeah, maybe.
Has he been corrupted at all? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to tell if there's any corruption or if like he's been taken.
I mean, he has a lot of files that are hidden. Now they're not, but yeah, this is a wealth of information here. Yeah, sure.
Can you give me a little information about one Ava Cyrus?
Ava Cyrus?
Yeah,
sure. All right. So do you want to bid Archangel for this?
Yeah. Is that all right?
That's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Hodka? Yep. All right. Yeah, just take a few minutes. All right, action is on all of you as Archangel hacks Alfred.
What would your plan be,
Alfred?
To if they send a capital ship out here, how would we take that ship? Presume?
Well,
what would you do?
I'm assuming we don't. Does this ship have any kind of lifeboats, or is it just sort
We
of
got a
a
drop
run and
ship.
gun kind of ship? Drop ship?
It's a gun ship.
Oh.
We got a drop ship. I mean, but the drop ship is for dropping to a planet. It's not really a battleship, I don't think.
Well, no. Well, my not to toot my own horn or anything, but I personally would I'd probably go out on my own. It's a lot harder to scan a something as small as a person. At least, in the vastness of space, you'd have to be looking pretty hard or knows kind of where I was anyway, in order to see me very easily. But so what I would do personally is I would, well, if we could get the, if we could find out the information, yeah. If we could get the information on the type of ship beforehand, it would make it much easier to essentially map out what entrance would be the easiest. Well, we know it's a capital ship.
No, I mean I have the whole dossier, and it was one of ours before they took it over. So whatever modifications they've done is whatever. But I can I pull that information up on my tablet and show it to Katrina?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the ship.
Let's see. It has a couple of minor access hatches. This one over by the secondary access hatch next to their actual airlock for docking. This might be good. I don't think that they would. I can't imagine they would have much reason to guard this terribly much, particularly on a ship that big. I'm not sure what their manpower is, but I imagine that they probably don't guard this one very much. Plus, it's really only for emergencies if one of their main hatches gets damaged. So I cannot see that they would man this very much. They're a little harder to get into. Usually you have to have a command override code to open these, but I have my ways. So I personally would try and go into this one right here.
So what kind of team are you thinking? There's a pretty large.
we're
I
not-
mean, it's a bigger ship than our ship, so we'd probably need to take a team if we're gonna.
Yeah. Given the kind of resistance we'd probably run into, do you have any kind of idea as to what, how these guys are outfitted?
Well, I don't think they have the modern, latest and greatest tech. I mean, they don't have a laser sword. I'm pretty sure of that. And
I
can
mean,
hold my
really,
own.
I'm just the EVA expert. I would think that in terms of the actual combat on the ground, so to speak, that would be your area of expertise. So I think you
Yeah.
should decide who should and shouldn't go with me. I can relatively easily tow 2 extra people behind me. I mean, particularly since we're not talking about doing any crazy maneuvers, at least I don't think. So, we're just talking about scooting along, as it were, and just sort of floating around until we get to that access hatch.
I think we take a team of 4 in. I think we go in small and take the bridge or just disable their ship from the inside.
Do we need to take the ship for any reason?
No, I could care less what happens to that ship. If that ship is disabled permanently, that is fine with me. I don't feel like we need
Taking
to kill
things is a
everyone
lot
on it.
easier than taking something over, so if you don't care what happens to the ship after the fact, disabling it is much more simple.
Well, let's,
Taking aborting action on a bridge is always a very dangerous situation. You
if-
want to
if you-
generally have at least a 2 or 3 to 1 advantage in terms of numbers.
well,
So
I'm
that's
sure our
not something
numbers
I
are
would
going to
recommend.
be. What is the complement of this capital ship?
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, but what is the complement of the capital ship typically of that class?
Oh, of a normal capital ship.
Of that era.
Yeah, give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I will look this up.
So I think we disable it if it comes out, and that really just relieves us of a little bit of headache. As we get a little bit closer in, I think we bring Brick and Burgess along with us, while the ship
What about the stowaways?
is
That
repaired.
thread won't hold forever.
The
In
what
terms
one?
of disabling the ship,
Well, we put them in the airlock,
in
so
terms
I'm
of
not
disabling-
too worried about them.
Wait, are you in the airlock?
No,
They're
we
in the airlock?
put them in the airlock. So
Oh, okay. So you've moved them from where the crew quarter was into the airlock.
Yeah, no, I mean they're secure wherever they are. They're
You need to know where
We
they are.
Currently,
you can have them in the
they-
airlock.
Yeah, they should be in the airlock. I think
Yep.
for them.
And Alice and
Willem
Skip
is
are guarding them.
Willem is not in the airlock. He is.
No, where is
hanging
Willem?
with- he's hanging with Allison and Skip.
So Alice and Skip are guarding the airlock.
Correct.
in terms of just trying to disable the ship, I personally would recommend bringing at least somebody who's a bit more technologically savvy. Maybe Cherokee. I mean, I'm assuming you probably wouldn't want to bring this Archangel fellow with us.
I think Archangel would be wonderful to bring if he would go, but I think he and Cherokee are working. We could probably take engineering along with us.
That's actually not a bad idea. he probably knows a bit more about the engines than I might. He might know exactly what to break.
Well, I mean, he's kind of in trouble for that sort of thing, so we should hope so. that is his, you know, like he said he didn't do it, but you know, if he did, he would know. So yeah, let's do that. Why don't you suit up, Katrina, and Burgess,
right.
and we'll
A
fill
heavy,
engineering in on that.
a heavy vehicle, so a light capital ship, could have anywhere from 75 crew capacity all the way up to almost 800. It just depends.
So we're gonna
skeleton
say
skeleton crew would be far fewer, like maybe 50, like to properly run the ship. Like just to fly it, I mean, you don't need that many people, but to maintain it, you have to have a crew.
Do any ships in this universe have like artificial gravity or not really?
They don't have artificial gravity, no. They have spin gravity.
Gotcha.
And you have magnetic boots.
Okay.
But the goal is to go in quiet, so
Yeah.
we go in quiet. I'm all in if you want to try that out. I never got a straight answer from our RI about if we could take these ships on a one-on-one battle, and I'd rather go in with advantage one-on-one instead of two-on-one. If we can have this little opportunity of them sending a ship out,
Sounds like they eventually want to do something similar to us.
Well, they don't know about us. It's been years. Maybe they think they've moved on. The SSA's moved on. We're the first contact in 10 years. They'll see a pirate ship out there. They might blow it up. They might scavenge it for some spare parts. We didn't scavenge it, so it looks like, for all they know, that there was a malfunction and everything blew out into space. And I would like to spend a narrative point to say that's kind of what it looks like. It's like maybe the whole crew just got blown out into space when Archangel arrived.
That is actually what it looks like.
So when they come up, they may not suspect this as anything other than a pirate vessel. So we use that as a guise to get the upper hand and maybe a surprise. We won't go in when they first get here on high alert. We'll give them a few hours to kind of let their guard down a little bit, and then we'll take them. If that feels good to you, I think we should do it.
Or that sounds fine to me.
Josh intercoms in. Lieutenant, we are a good distance away, and the maneuver seems to be complete. On a passive scan, it does look like a couple ships are heading this way. They're rather small, looks like starfighters. Smaller than us. There's something else with them. It's a much smaller ship, perhaps, or a capsule. I'm not sure. Haven't seen it before, but it could be before my time. Maybe they made it.
Any word? You haven't seen anything on the capital ship, though.
It's not moving.
All right. Is there a way that we can get closer to that capital ship and them not detect us?
Well, the vector that we're on right now is not in the direction of the planet. We're going not quite a right angle.
Yeah. Now, are there any planets or moons around close to where we are?
Not close. Closest thing is that gas giant. Looks like it's called Novus 3.
Yeah. What if we? I mean, I presume that these 3 ships are going to be no issue for you to take with a decent gunner, correct, Josh?
Assuming we have a gunner, yes.
Right.
Normally, I know. Archangel comes in. Alfred would do it.
So you're worried about these 3 little ships without an RI.
No, sir. It's that I don't have a gunner.
Is anybody a gunner? Are you a gunner? Does anybody on this ship know how to fire a gun with any
Skip.
proficiency?
Skip gets on the radio. Me, sir. Of course.
Oh, nice. Well,
Alice jumped on too. Yeah, of course, sir. We're Marines, aren't we?
Skip, what I want you to do is familiarize yourself with being a gunner on the ship and work with Josh and see a way.
I already know it.
Take all 3 of these ships coming out. I think that we're all gonna do a spacewalk. Katrina, engineering, and myself, along with Private Burgess, and hopefully we'll convince one of these capital ships to come along, and maybe we'll give them a little surprise when they investigate.
Skip says, "Is it weapons free?"
Yeah, not now, but when they come. But I want you to just blow them up. Is that what you mean?
Sir, as you hear Scoot, you hear Skip getting to the gunner seats.
Well, hold on.
Actually,
Don't fire yet. What are you thinking?
If we're just gonna blow up the ships coming in, why even risk retaliation? Why not wait till they get close and then just shoot at the engine and blow it up and get them caught in the.
Josh comes on. Okay, I understand that none of you are actually looking out the window. We're really far away. We're nowhere near the capital ships. I literally cannot see them with my naked eye. Also, the ships that are coming this way, they'll be here in about 20 minutes.
I think the goal is to get one of the capital ships to come out here so we can take the capital ship offline, so that this ship can only have to fight one of their capital ships because I have a plan on what we need to do in order to get the spice flowing if that's what you're looking for.
Josh just kind of says, you're the commander. I don't what.
So if you can promise
Did you get back on?
if you have a gunner, you can take one of these capital ships. I
You hear
believe
Skip. He's got a gunner.
that we can take the other one, and hopefully you won't sustain too much damage. Hopefully we'll have an RI at some point.
Josh.
All right.
Actually,
Hold on.
Okay.
I want to make sure, because this is going on for a while.
Yeah.
So you two know what's going on. You guys are millions of miles away from the capital ship.
Sure.
Millions of miles away. Okay?
Okay.
You're like where Jupiter is, and they're like where Earth is.
Great. Okay.
You are fucking way far away. Okay?
Sure.
So let's say there's an explosion. They won't see it. Now, if they're scanning, they might see it. Okay?
Yeah.
You are so fucking far away, you cannot even imagine how far away you are. They're not like right on you. It's not battles. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's not like Battleship. Now, when these, whatever these smaller ships are, whenever they get here, one, you don't know what's going to happen. The orders standing, our skip, when they're in range, is going to shoot at them and blow them up. Okay, go.
That is a good point, Katrina. Why don't you wait until they get close to the ship that's just floating through space. We'll blow that up and see if we can catch one of the two of the smaller ships in the crossfire and then clean it up. So why don't we just do that? That's a great idea, Katrina.
Josh, listening to this, says, "That's a great idea. I'll try to do that." I mean, Katrina, if you have this skill, why don't you just pilot it? He says, "Lieutenant, I've got to do what I've got to do. I can't necessarily just follow. That's not how this works."
Do you have that as a skill? Katrina, is that something you can do?
Katrina will kind of shift one leg, shift over to one leg and cross arm. Yeah, I can do that. And she'll head up towards the bridge.
Well, make it so. Let's just take these guys out.
We montage.
We'll deal with the consequences of what happens once they're dead and we're not. Everybody suit up and prepare for battle.
We montage about 20 minutes from now. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
It's sort of a mix between Woodford and
there it is. There it is.
But I'm not.
I thought it was coffee.
Inebriated. No, it's not. It's not. I was just trying to go like hard there for a second, like raw, like battle cry, like something's happening. It was a raw. I can't do the.
What's that?
Well, I can't do the angle because usually the camera's only like this far away from my face. Mm-hmm. Right now the camera's like 3 feet away from me, so it's very difficult.
We montage. About 20 minutes goes by. It is quiet. The nerves start getting to people. And in your own ways, you can deal... Nostalgic says, montage! In your own ways, you deal with the nerves. How do you guys each deal with this impending encounter, this anxiety, as you can hear people pacing, their magnetic boots clicking on the floor. You can hear Alice checking her gun, the engine sounds, and this sort of thing. Each of you need a bid or a throwdown, and describe how you're dealing with these nerves in preparation. Also,
Katrina's...
hydrate. Vampire Nostalgic says to hydrate.
Can I bid first? Because I think my bid might help everyone else. I'm gonna bid my nature, which is hateful, to activate authoritarian presence and speak over the intercom. We've got this. This is a little old ship, or a couple little old ships. We've done this before. We're gonna do it again. This is no big deal. Just steady yourself. Stay calm. Stay focused. You're in your gear. We got this. If you decide to join us one day, those who are in the airlock will get a place on this ship. Actually, we should bring them in for this, just in case. but we'll give you more privileges and rights, and if you want to be a pirate in space, we'll let you be a pirate in space. But we got this. So let's do it.
As your lieutenant's voice echoes, you remember to not slouch. As Vampire Nostalgic says, not slouching. Lieutenant Dolby's voice echoes. He summons this baritone that resonates in the tin can of a ship that you're in. And you all feel that strength, that confidence in his voice. You all do not need to bid, as you automatically pass with his authoritarian presence. However, you still have to describe what you're doing, but you don't have to bid. Go for it.
Katrina, I actually will bid, only because Katrina, having, settled into the pilot seat, actually set an alert to let her know when those ships get within a certain distance that she feels comfortable getting ready to engage them.
Mm-hmm.
So she's actually literally just, she's sitting in the chair with her arms crossed and her head leaning back against the headrest. And she's just sort of actually like straight up chilling out. So for that, I'm gonna bid Cool Cat.
You bid Cool Cat. You notice that Josh was rather nervous giving up the controls to you. He was about to say something. You sort of in this zen moment when Dolby's voice came over, and he actually kind of takes a deep breath and sits down in the co-pilot seat. What about you, Burgess?
We bid.
You do not need to bid.
Oh, I don't need to bid?
Nope.
Burgess sits there, steely-eyed, looking towards the wall on the other side, clutching his sidearm, just in case. Stares deep into, not the abyss, but another wall.
Burgess, why don't you go help Alice, Brick? I gotta pull Skip Trace off guard duty, so make sure those guys don't do anything.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure they don't do anything.
As they're on the inside of the airlock now, or where have you moved them?
Yeah, we brought them in the airlock into not the storage, because I don't think they need to have into the bunk area.
Okay, that's where they are. As Burgess, you walk in there. You note that Alice is there. Skip Trace is nowhere to be found. Dolby, what are you doing?
I'm on the bridge, probably annoying Katrina. Like, what does this button do?
All right, as Dolby, you walk past the stairs going up where the gunner is, and you see Skip is up there where you put him. Katrina, as Dolby walks in and he's pointing and touching things. Word.
So you've really piloted a ship, Katrina?
Yeah, a few.
Good.
Here and there.
Go ahead.
That's the privileges of growing up in a rich family. I may have had a private yacht or other things in growing up, but when you work as a mercenary, you learn a lot of skills as well. So yeah, I've flown a little bit. Mostly I fly myself, but every once in a while I do ships too. And she'll actually look at the scanner again, and how close are they getting?
you happen to look down at the scanner, you see that it goes off as you look at it. You see that they are within weapons range of the pirate ship, which you guys are not. You've ferried away from it a little bit. Within the next minute, they will be within your weapons range. As they are flying toward the pirate ship, you guys are at a perpendicular angle, so you've moved off this some way, and essentially are taking their flank. So you're at the apex of a triangle, and so the triangle would. This is a stupid way of saying it. It works, but it's not going to work. Me telling you this. You're looking down at them. You have their side. There you go.
Gotcha.
That way you guys will understand. Yeah.
Sure, we're flanking
You have about a minute.
Katrina,
You're flanking them. It's just space combat is a lot more complicated than that.
Sure.
yeah.
Well,
Katrina will get on our arms. My gunners, are you ready?
Yep. Always ready. Locked and loaded.
All right, good. As soon as they give you the signal, signal. I will. Yeah, if you could, just go ahead and shoot at the pirate ship. Aim
Which
for its
one?
engines primarily.
It says.
The-
It looks like they've got
the
two.
pirate ship.
okay.
The pirate ship.
Also,
Yeah,
Skip says.
we're blowing up the pirate ship first.
yeah, the whole plan
Okay.
was to blow up the pirate ship to see if it'll have a big enough explosion.
Skip goes.
in
Yeah.
order
Okay. No one told me that.
I feel like we were all talking about that. All right. And also, just
You were passing through walls in every room, talking to everyone as though they were
Yeah.
in front of you. You didn't tell Skip.
one of the things we also need to do is raise our shields just before we fire. Just a little FYI. There.
Actually, I would recommend. I'm gonna do it. I'll raise the shields, just after we fire. My hope is that the explosive flash from the ship, assuming the ship explodes like I hope it will, that should actually help hide our signature a good bit as well. It'll be a big bright spot on the sensor as opposed to us not being as bright. That's my hope.
Well,
We'll see how that goes.
I'll have Josh raise the shields once you fire. Then. You got that, Josh?
Yeah. As he has his hand over the button.
Give it about a 20-second lead time. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be at least that long till the rounds impact the other ship.
All right. Sounds good.
So, those ships make it to the pirate ship. You see, on your scanners, you can see there's 2 starfighters and then a third ship that's about 3/4 the size. It looks like a pill with a big thruster on the back. They do some maneuvering. One of the starship gets close as the other one flies around, and the pill-looking ship goes on a z-axis positive and is looking down. It's super standard surveying as they're checking each other and such. Actions on you all.
Okay. Once they get in
weird
close
looking
and
ship.
get kind of comfortable,
All right.
you see them start to board. Let's get it
I
in. think they've
don't
seen
know
us.
that they're necessarily going to board, but I'd say we could probably go ahead and open fire as long as you're okay with it.
Engage.
All right, fire away, boys
You guys hear
and
the
girl. I think.
There's actually one gun. Skips on it. As you
Oh.
hear the resonation, despite the muffling effect and such that it has in the safety precautions, it's loud enough to where you can feel each shot in your chest, and you see the tracers out the front window. in a moment of time. Okay. We're bidding skip trace, yes?
Yeah.
All right, we need a roll for skip. We'll say Dolby, roll me a d10. And Burgess, roll me a d10. Threshold on this is 3.
I rolled a 10.
This is to
I rolled a
hit.
6.
Nice. This is to hit the pirate ship.
So 1 success.
All right. That is limbo. We're going to roll damage on this biatch. So he is using a Vulcan cannon. Both of you roll 1d6 as he continues firing.
2.
That's a 6.
Okay. So it's 8 plus 1, so 9 damage on the derelict ship. Poor Rorigan. Already taking damage, having no shields up. You see sparks. This ship is about like yay big. It's like a little Tylenol on the screen. That's how far away it is. You see sparks erupting and the steady stream like a highway of bullets as the Rorigan splits in half and an eruption of fire as it hits the fusion engines. An intensely bright white light erupts from it as I'm assuming you all shield your eyes. Or do you stare at it?
Yeah.
Shields up.
Actually, in the interim where the bullets were in flight, so to speak, before they actually hit the target, I'd look over at Dolby. Dolby, you still want to take that capital ship?
Yeah.
Okay. And so actually, Katrina will start typing on the keyboard of the ship. I can use a pip if I need to.
No, this is fine. This is essentially
Okay.
play your turn. That's fine.
And she'll actually input a set of coordinates that'll give the ship a probably like a 50% impulse towards in the general direction of the capital ship, and she'll wait till basically right when the engine explodes, and she'll hit enter.
Okay.
And then do that.
We'll have you bid in a second. As occurs, Josh hits the shields. The lights on the ship dim for a second as you see the familiar blue skin of the shields peel out from the emitters. And as Katrina, as you hit enter on your coordinates, what do you bid to pilot this guy?
So my bid, okay, I might have to probably do a couple here. My bid is going to be aerial awareness, and then I'm also going to bid line of greatness to activate my skill expert pilot.
Yep, go ahead and
Which
throw it down.
is yeah. Okay. So let's see.
All right.
Would that be
It'd be mind or grace, either one.
okay?
So
Grace
you're
is a lot
aware. So you're aware, just mechanically wise. There's you guys actually can't go full impulse. The fastest you can go is a quarter impulse, which is
Okay.
is pretty much that's the fastest. Because full impulse is like light speed. So
Gotcha.
unless you're rocking a gravity drive and doing that, you can't. Now here's the question: are you employing? You do have a gravity drive because you're a military vessel. Normally, you would use solar sails to do this, and your fusion rockets to actually get up to speed, in which case you'd be going a quarter impulse. And it would take you 20-ish minutes, because you guys are way faster than they are, to get to the capital ship. Or you could use a gravity drive, in which case you would get there in like a minute. But you'd be using a gravity drive.
Yeah. What are the downsides of using a gravity drive?
Accuracy, and the fact that you're essentially creating a gravity well where you are. So if there are scans, they would know something's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas sailing, you're just sailing. They'd have to visually see it.
Yeah. Katrina would probably... I'd probably would use the gravity drive just because I don't think they'd be expecting it. They'd see the ship explode. Yeah. Well, that's too, but also I don't think they'd be expecting it. Like, they'd see the ship explode, be focused on that, and by the time they really have time to regroup, we'd already be on them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, threshold for this, to do it properly, is 5.
Okay. Ooh. I had to max it out, but let's see if I can do it.
I'm seeing if you have any tactical systems that can aid on the ship. I think Skip has, and Dolby, do you have the stats on your ship? I have the base stuff. I don't know if you guys have added anything.
Yeah, I got some stats. I think you gave me. I got.
You should have You should have an Astra navigation system, which you can bid if you want. It would give you a D6 extra.
Nukes. I got rockets. I got PVNS guns. I have upgraded engines. So let's bid our upgraded engines. Can we do that?
Yeah. So they are engines which have one trait upgraded, so it's a D6.
Okay. So I'm at 3 right now. So I will roll that D6. So there's a D6. So that's 4.
Now, if you want to do your Astra navigation system, it's technically enhanced by an RI. That would give you a D6 as well, which you still get you're still able to do it because technically Alfred is not offline.
Okay. You guys,
and now
you guys want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
You've done
going
one
to
ability
roll
and
that
2
one.
ninja gear.
Okay. Actually. I don't have anything on that. So, I will use another movement proficiency to reroll that one. Stop.
Can I aid with by bidding a focus or bidding
what do you want to bid?
a trait? Like if
Sure.
I bid calm under fire.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
And then use my focus to activate approaching the Buddha with the sword.
So you can't give her your abilities, but you can aid her. You can give her her a die.
Can I aid calm under fire to like
Absolutely. What's the
ease
aspect?
her? I guess Grace. She's got to hold the stick in just the right way. Needs to have that.
Do you put your hands on her shoulders or something? How do you actually aid with calm under fire?
I take a step back. I was
Crowding.
fiddling with shit before, so I like step back. I step
What's
off.
the die? What's the die type?
It's a D8.
As Katrina, you sense Dolby actually give you some space, and you're able to kind of like shrug your shoulders, grab onto the yoke, and you get a D8 as an extra die. Burgess stares a hole in the Durasteel.
Oh, nice. the lucky tit. So that's a clean success. That's a 6 now.
Nice. As you see this laser beam which is actually Burgess's laser beam eyes, shoot out and blow up one of the stars. I'm kidding. All right. The fusion reactor of the Rorigan pirate ship explodes. You couldn't tell which direction exploded, whether it was all ways or out one side or whatever, because the bright light was blinding. As you shoot past using the gravity drive, you see, since you're all in the, or most of you are in the cockpit or on the bridge, space around you fishbowl as it warps and moving without moving almost. It's taking the shortcut through space, as instead of having to deal with 500 million miles, you're dealing with a far, far, far fewer amount. Like 1 million miles. And going a quarter speed of light, that's rather quick. As it only takes you minutes to reach that distance. Out of the lens flare effect, that fishbowl effect of space, you see the pirate ship exploding. Perhaps the thought, maybe, that not all of those ships were destroyed. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't.
Hey, Sarah.
As Katrina, you feel the exhilaration of once again being in the pilot seat. And you know almost immediately that you still got the touch, as you all see that capital ship go from not being visible at all to in front of you. As the gravity drive shuts off, you feel the queasiness of space folding back in around itself. We do need a chaos roll for the engines every time we use them. We'll have Katrina roll it, so it's just a d6. Don't roll a 1.
5. Yeah, it was a 5.
With a 5,
We're good.
you see systems are nominal. You have no leakage in the fuel cells. You're not in orbit, but you're near the moon. Massive backdrop, although it is quite a ways away from you, is the gas giant, Novus 3. The moon, Novus Terra, looms before you. It's sort of periwinkle blue atmosphere, reflecting off the starlight, and this one that you see, ancient-looking capital ship. It's a light capital ship. It has sort of a sandstony-looking color, like it's made of rust. Looks like a big fucking suppository with guns. Immediately, all of you who can see it, if you're in the military, you can either bid or throw down to gain a pretty good idea of its complement when it comes to weapons.
I will throw down.
I'll throw
Do
down
it.
2. I will throw
You
down.
also note, as this is the world action, you also note it turns on its shields.
Oh, actually, on that note, point of order. Do shields in this universe prevent like physical objects? I mean, I guess obviously if they're using like for
There's a
instance,
couple
could
different
a
forms.
ship go past through? Okay.
There's a couple forms of shields. We'll get to the mechanics in a second. First, what do you bid or throw down? Or do you do that? Dolby, what'd you bid?
I will bid my motto, which is no gift goes unpunished. And you know, I feel like whatever Katrina's idea of doing the slow, like boarding the ship is not going to happen at this point. So I feel like we're going to go in hot, and I'm going to ask our buddies at the, and hopefully, you know, we we got in fast enough. Could we have spent cunning, or I guess we didn't spend cunning is the idea.
Burgess, what did you throw down?
I threw down no successes.
Burgess, as you're staring a hole in a wall, you happen to kind of see out the side of the porthole the ship like go past, and as you look, it's past. The ship, this capital ship, turns on its shields as you see the shields peeling around it in this wavering blue light.
Is there
I think they're
anything
onto
else-
us.
Yeah, I think so. I think we really mucked that up. Well, we're here. Hey, everybody. I'm gonna send a message to the captain.
Dolby,
I'm gonna hail him.
Dolby,
I'm gonna hail him.
you were on the right track, but you have to say it. I'm not gonna give you guys this stuff.
I would like to spin cunning.
Oh, you want to spend cunning? Okay, indeed. So you get to go.
I'll spend cunning.
Oh, I see. So as the shields are starting to erupt, you guys go first, right? Because that's
I'm
how
gonna-
the game works.
I'm gonna suggest that we fire 2 rockets and just open it up. Skip. Let's disable
Okay,
those
actually,
engines.
I will actually use a pip for this. Because I will, after he showed me the schematics earlier, I will have determined the the most likely location for the shield generators, and we'll have already calculated the launch vectors for the missiles.
Oh, that would be your cunning. You're gonna have to do that in cunning because you hadn't done it. And also,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's a little bit too much.
That's a lot
Fine.
of info.
Yeah,
Good thinking there.
Because you literally just popped in and saw it now.
Yeah.
So I could see you. If you drop a
Okay,
pip,
wait. Okay.
what it'll do is it'll give you an extra die. Is what'll happen. If you want to drop a pip to
what
say
I was
that,
gonna say was
go on.
so she'll have okay, how about this? She'll have calculated likely approach vectors, and then I could bid my integrated mind jack to actually, pick out the best one and go ahead and launch the missile.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Because essentially you're just firing, and you're getting you'll get an extra die for it. We'll call it a D6.
Okay. So that would probably be what, wits?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Oh,
you know what I forgot to add when I was doing that jump initially?
your
I forgot to add my action dice. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not even my aspect. I
Right.
forgot to add the action dice. So I had all these dice going and I had forgot about it.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Go ahead and throw down as you unleash. What are you actually shooting? You don't have access to the Vulcan cannon because Skip Trace is on that. You can shoot your tactical nukes if you want. What other
Anything between the two?
No,
whatever
don't
other
take the nukes. We
what
need
other
those
compliment
nukes.
do you have?
We have 6 rockets, so so you got. I said 2 rockets, so like.
Yeah,
let's-
you can
let's
shoot
launch
2
couple.
at a time. If you want to do 2 at a
Yeah.
time, you can. So those rockets, did I tell you what the scale is or any of that stuff?
No,
Good.
I just have 3 little traits on there.
Yep.
Or
Well,
4.
in terms of not anything else to do with the rockets, I have a total of 3 successes.
All right. You have 3 successes. Catching this capital ship Dolby, you'll note that since you had bid to know its complement and armament and such, this is a great ship, as in that is its classification. It is a step up from your guys' heavy gunboat. Or do you have a light gunboat?
The Cool Mint.
Yeah, you're a heavy ship. I believe you're scaled too.
The Cool Mint is got upgraded engines.
Yeah. I got you. It's one scale above you, and what that means is, it's really, really tough for you to get through its shields. It's going to have a lot bigger armament, more fuel cells. It has more vital spots, and it can take a lot more damage because of its just sheer size and such. That said, it looks like it's 200 years old, because it is, and like some of the lights aren't on it. So while it's not in disrepair, it's a little bit shabby. As you see two rockets fire off with 3 successes. All right, to hit this thing, you need 4 successes.
Dang. Okay. Well, in that case, I will use one of my rerolls again, my last one, to try and reroll this other one and see if it does. Okay. Yeah, that is 4 successes now.
All right, at Limbo, you need to roll the damage, which I'm assuming you do not have written down. That's okay. Do you have
my aid with my trait strategic position?
Yeah. What aspect do you give her?
Can I give her a wit or a grace? Or
Yeah,
does it
so
matter?
this is your cunning, so you will not have it for this turn, which is fun. Which one do you want to give her?
Well, I want to give her the grace again, just further backing away and maybe walking down the stairs and giving her so much space that it's like I'm not even in the room. It's like, you got this. I'm going to do something else now.
Nostalgic says, spend cunning, maybe, folks. Danger. Danger, the suppository has guns.
So I won't be able to do any. Will I be able to say anything or message anything?
Oh yeah, you can do loads of stuff. You just don't have access to that die for this.
Yeah.
cunning
Okay.
turn.
I don't need it.
All right. Katrina, it is. Go ahead and roll the extra die that Dolby gave you.
It's a D8.
Yep, they gave me one more success. So
it's a clean success?
Yeah, clean success.
All right. On missiles, it is 2d6 plus 1, and remember you get the plus 1 for getting a clean success. That is how much damage they do.
Okay.
So 2d6
So-
plus 2.
That's 2d6 total or 2d6 for each?
Oh, 2d6 plus 2 for each, because you
For
shot
each.
2.
Okay.
Roll the dice.
So the first one does 9 damage.
The first missile goes off as you see a big chunk blow out.
And
It looks superficial because this thing is
different
huge.
numbers, but also 9 again.
As the second missile impacts, and you see one of the fins of this thing just peel off as fire erupts from inside the ship. You see, since you're so close, several bodies spilling out. Fires, because it has no shields, fires are erupting inside the ship. Silently, of course, since it's space. Here and there, you see flashes of light, probably from alarms and such, as the ship starts to turn away from you, away from that side. All right. That is cunning. Dolby, it's on you, having spent cunning.
Well, plans have changed, but I think we can still do this. I'm gonna message the ship.
Okay.
Send a message to the captain. Do I know the name of the ship? I just have warships. Is the name of the ship? Does the dossier have the name of the ship?
It does not. However, you can see the name of the ship written on its side
Oh,
in
what's it
paint.
say?
Yeah, what does it say? Holker, what's the name of the ship? I have a name written down, but I would rather you tell me what it is.
The name of the ship?
Yes.
What's the name of the ship? They were
I do.
attacking.
Yep.
SS. SS.
No one will ever know what it stands for. But it has 4 S's in a row. As the
Actually, wait. There's actually a snake that's also painted on the side next to it.
It's the snake. I like that. You both will get a pip. That's funny. Did you see the snake? It's Lord. Yeah, Dolby, you hit the intercom for communicate.
For communicating with the other ship.
What do
I've
you
noticed. I'm gonna. Well, I am going. Can I bid my focus, which is burning? Can I bid the focus?
It's up to those guys. Only
You
one
guys, if I
person can
bid-
do it, and you
Do you
will have a
mind if I bid?
cooldown. You will have a cooldown next session, so you cannot bid it next session if you do that.
Can I bid the what a focus does?
Yeah. Are you guys cool with that?
Should we go over the ideas of what a focus does for the chat and for everyone?
Do it.
Can you do it? Because I don't have it in front of me. I know it does something special.
So essentially, your focus is you could say it's your soul level. It's how powerful, how bright of a soul you are. Mechanically, when you bid your focus, if you just bid it as a trait, it's just a trait. Most PCs have a burning focus. Most people in the world have one less than that. So dim or even guttering, which is below, as in they're lost to despair and that kind of thing. You guys have burning foci, so that's why you're protagonists.
And
When you bid
your
your focus, if you do it as the focus mechanic, which only one player can do it a game, and then there's a game cooldown, you gain whatever that focus is in automatic successes, which for you guys should be 2. And all of the dice that you throw down have upper hand, so you get to roll them twice and you take the better. So in D&D terms, you have advantage on your stuff. It's a good time to blow the load, so to speak.
Yeah. My bid is actually very impactful because I can tell you all the reasons, and I will in the after hours. If you become a Patreon, you can actually find the logic behind it, but I'm not going to go into the reasons why.
So, are you guys cool with it?
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ship SSSS, you are in non-compliance of the Authority of Planets, Alliance of Settlements, Solar System Authority. We have come to negotiate a reconnection and reestablish trade routes. I advise you stand down, else you may have a severe lack of population and settlement. Please comply and do not raise your shields, because if you do, We will obliterate your settlement and start over.
Well, you get a narrative point because that was awesome. Also, I misspoke. It's not your focus; it's your fate. Your fate is the one that.
Well, I'm going to bid my fate, which is full.
Yeah, your fate.
Full?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Your fate is what that is.
Yeah.
As
I'm
you
gonna
bid your
my
fate, the fool. All right, you absolutely have to throw down. There's a cutscene on the bridge of this capital ship. Everyone, of course, has, the little insignia of a snake. The new insignia of this colony, taken over by Confucius us. They all look like they're in, the Rebel Alliance. They're wearing sandy uniforms, and in this massive bridge, looking out, alarms are going off, and runners are going everywhere, fire teams and such. As Dolby, your voice comes on, and in fact, we'll say that unless you don't want your face to be seen, a hologram
they can see me. Oh, yeah.
of your face appears. The grim reality dawns on these people for a moment. Ad break ends in 1.5 minutes. So, pour yourself something to drink. This is going to be the last scene.
Nice.
Got 1.5 minutes.
Not a bourbon for a minute. So I'm going to step out and get some bourbon. And I've been thinking about this since we kind of got the mission. Like, I've been thinking about this. I'm not going to tell you what I've been thinking until after hours, but like, this is the strategy that's been in my head for like months. Now.
Good. All right, give me 1 second.
We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, you guys are out, I believe. Nope, not. Yeah, now we're back.
Now we're back. I said we're back. Happy MLK Day.
Oh, yeah. What a good man.
That thing. It's a day.
All right.
For MLK.
Oh. Cutscene. On this bridge, on the captain and his first mate, or the captain and her first mate, why not? Everyone looks up and sees the grim visage of Dolby Newman, first lieutenant, in his space marine armor, cool eyes and such, staring at this hologram projected out onto the bridge. This is a day that these people knew would come eventually. Again, as in this cutscene, you guys obviously your characters don't see this, but there's a conversation that's had, which I won't have with myself. Dolby, you can see their not their entire bridge, because that'd be a security breach, but you can see they have allowed you to see the captain. She's maybe in her 40s, blonde hair that's going a bit gray, stern look on her face. But there's something betrayed in her eyes. She has the anxiety of seeing you and seeing your face, seeing your uniform, seeing that you are PMC. There's a realization, a resoluteness. You've seen this in people before who have dealt with the strong arm of the SSA on the other end of your barrel. And you can tell, without needing to throw down or bid or anything, she has seen the PMC before. It dawns on you. The PMC has been here before. As in, you're not the first. The thought might cross your mind. Why did it take them 10 years to do something about this coup d'etat? Because they should have found out about it within, a couple. As you realize, maybe they did. What do you say? As you go with your monologue, now what?
Don't raise your shields. I'm sure you know the routine.
She says in a very commanding voice that does waver a little bit. You knowing, you can hear the of her ship being damaged and sirens going off, and they shut off. You don't have to do this, PMC Marine.
I don't want to do this. I didn't want to fire on you.
She barely arcs, just a twitch of her eyebrow. You know she does not believe that.
Believe what you want. My mission isn't to hurt anyone. I didn't want anyone to die. Members of my crew died on the way here. So we all know death. And it's a part of our life. You want to be in space, you want to have weapons, you want to stop a couple of shipments. I'm just looking for something that we can do to make those guys happy back there, or this is going to happen again. I'm just a cog in the system. Do you want to make life better for yourself, or do you want to just do the same thing? I might have an idea to where you'll never see another Marine like me again.
Making a very compelling argument. You can tell you're speaking sense to her, at least from her perspective. You can also tell she does not trust you. So, you throw down the threshold to convince her of this is 4.
Okay. I will do that. Throwing down.
So he automatically has 3 successes. Or 2 successes.
Oh, do I already have 2 successes?
'Cause
And
you hit
that's
your
is that a mind or a wit?
Yeah, it's your tier of play is what it is. Your tier should be 2. So
It's burning.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, that's your focus. Your tier
That's your-
plays seasoned.
Yeah,
So
seasoned.
you have 2 successes. You
Yeah.
get your action die, your aspect die, and you get anything else you want to roll, and it all has upper hand.
All right.
So roll it twice and take the better.
I'm gonna pull out my laser sword.
Of course.
This is my weapon of choice. And I turn it on.
Several people next to her turn and look as they kind of like step back.
Nukes, stuff like that. I'm a Marine. They don't care about you. They just want some product. They don't care about your ideals. They just need a little product. Give them 10%, maybe 15. Give them something. Space is big. Pirates. A lot of pirates out there. We killed some pirates on the way in.
As Dolby, you keep on talking, you see there's an array of emotions crossing this woman's face as a couple of the people beside her have very clenched jaws, and as you say these things, there is something happening. You've hit some buttons, but it's hard to know which ones. It's hard to know if you've actually made this harder for yourself or easier. Something's behind this.
I'm from the planet Ganymede. You know what's on Ganymede? We get some ice.
Ganymede.
Right?
Ganymede.
Yeah, Ganymede. I'm from the. I mean, it's on there. It's spelled correct there. There's some. Yeah. Anyway, I'm from Ganymede. And when you're from Ganymede, like you say Ganymede, like that's just the way we say it when you're from Ganymede.
As they're kind of looking at each other.
They don't care about us. I mean, they only care about what we can provide. We provide a little bit of expertise.
Someone steps forward in front of her and says, all the SSA does is take and kill. You have no right to our mining. As you see the captain look and shove this person back and tell him to shut up.
You know, you're right. And what I can do is I can get you something. I have a trade influence with Mars. I have a trade influence in a couple other sectors.
Threshold is going up with these lies.
No, I literally have a influence with Mars because there's a Martian on the pilot.
It's true.
So I'm not lying.
All right, throw down, because you have a throwdown based on a threshold, based on what you wanted to accomplish. So go.
I may still disbelieve you.
You know what? Actually, just to make this even easier, Katrina will actually cut in on the line.
Hold on.
That's possible.
You've already dropped your cunning.
Yeah.
I'm just aiding him.
Well, you've already
Can
taken
I not
the turn
aid him?
for the cunning.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
On the player turn, you can.
Okay.
Like the bad guys actually do get to go.
Yeah.
Fair.
No,
Unless
for
they
sure
get killed. Unless they get
For
killed.
sure they do.
Technically, the bad guys have already gone. They're going right now.
They're going.
All right, throw down.
All right. That is. I got 2 additional successes.
All right, you're at limbo now. Remember, you get upper hand, so you get to re-roll them and take the better.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll re-roll one of these dice, and it's the same.
Okay. Any other bids? Nostalgic says you get a pip for your, I believe, the Ganymede thing.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Nostalgic, for redeeming the old gift. 250 channel points.
Thank you.
Red points. Remember, if you do extra dice or any of that stuff, it's all got upper hand.
I did do extra dice. I was wondering if I could, because I am completely out of proficiencies.
Well, you have
Can I
you have upper hand on them.
Yeah, but the two of the dice I rolled well,
I see.
so I can't re-roll the dice.
Right,
I'm not
I
going
see
to
what
re-roll
you're
the dice that I rolled well. The one I got a D12 that I rolled poorly. I'm gonna bid my flask.
Yeah. This Nostalgic also gives you a narrative point.
And I'm gonna. Can I use my swagger, which is old drunk?
For what?
And I wanna look like I don't want to fucking be there.
You already do, but it won't give you any bonuses.
It won't.
Yeah, because you've already used that.
Oh wait.
So remember.
Can I use my old drunk? Because I bid my laser sword. Can I bid old drunk to activate Master of Arms?
Yeah.
And start swinging that sword around in a really cool fucking way.
Boom, 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 like Conan. Sure. Just like a crazy man. Yeah, you can. A crazy drunk Marine. Yes, you can.
So
right, do it.
So that gives me it's upgraded. My Master of Arms is upgraded twice. That means I need to roll.
No, it means you have 6 successes.
Oh, 6 successes.
Because you already had 4. All right, so this is what happens. That is a narrative point. So you have that, and Nostalgic gave you a narrative point. Fool's errand. It says the stream is cut, by the way.
Yeah, that's so all that stuff we just did post break didn't happen.
Oh no, I think it did happen. Because Nostalgic was given cool stuff. I think I think it just happened.
Oh shit! I was kind of looking at that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think it just happened.
No, because I was getting a little bit worried. So I think the last thing I said was what was the last thing? Stream? What was the last thing we did?
Yeah, what's the last thing you guys heard, Nostalgic?
It was the...
There's like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, no, it takes a minute.
Nostalgic
That's
is
my bad.
VIP. Oh, waving around the sword. Okay, so Dolby is waving around his sword as the captain hangs her head. Antagonist turn. Seeing this crazed, sociopathic space marine who's drunk doing what he's doing. As she turns and says to her first mate, bring the ship about, we'll bring in the cool mint, as you can see that they've scanned you. Tell Director Confucius that the PMC is here. You hear some people grumbling, Dolby. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but you can guess. As you hear one of them yelling, you know what they're gonna do! You know what they're gonna do! It's what they did last time! And she turns and says, she looks at him and then points at you and says, "There is no way to win against them." Dolby, as you feel this maybe swell of pride, and at the same time, somewhere deep down, something very bittersweet. Seeing someone cave like this. It's up to you how that makes you feel. And then you see the captain's head explode, brain matter going everywhere. Her body crumples to the ground, knees first. As the first mate has retracted his sidearm, smoking, he turns, points it at you, "Shields up!" and shoots at the screen.
Yeah, when that happens, isn't that 2 turns?
No, it's not.
No, it just
They get a lot of them and they can all go.
yeah.
That is where we're going to end tonight.
I get it. Did I don't know if the chat heard this or not, but I did spend a narrative point to say that there was somebody from Ganymede.
Ganymede? Yep.
Yeah, Ganymede. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
but
write it down.
There was
Write it down because
yeah.
that means you technically have an ally on their bridge. Which would be interesting. All right. Interesting.
Into space arresting. If you're
See,
a Patreon,
Truth.
go ahead.
What is the ally's name? We'll give that to Andrea. The guy from
His
Ganymede.
name is.
It's
His name.
What is it?
What? His name. His name is Patrick Williamsburg.
Williamsburg from Ganymede.
Yeah.
From Ganymede. All
You
right.
guys are gonna kill me. This every single time you say it hurts me a little more.
All right, Burgess, you will get to play next time. You're just staring a hole like in the dropship, just waiting to get there.
I figure that's in character.
Yeah.
Did anyone get any major minor goals?
Yeah, I did last game. It was actually a lot of what we talked about this game. I don't know if we should talk about it on air or if we should talk it off air.
Well, it's just so that we can add it up. Because we can talk about it here in a second on the old whatever, on the after hours.
It has to do with Alfred. It's like
Okay. Well, if you did a major minor goal, just did you get a major minor goal? Okay.
It's a minor goal.
So
defeat
you get a
Alfred a little bit. Yeah.
You get a pip. You get an
But I
XP.
didn't do it. Yeah.
All right. Regain a cunning. Regain a breath. Anyone else get any major minor goals?
Mm-mm.
All right. That is all for this episode. Well, Ken and I, maybe someone else, will be talking a little bit for the after hours. If you want to jump on that, if you are part of the Patreon, you will have access to it. And otherwise, that's about all we got going on. Last thoughts, Ken?
Shit.
Fuck. All right. Thanks, everybody. Everybody say bye.
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 Good night.
Thanks everyone for playing DreadLore's
Yeah.
Into Space. It's been really awesome. Just been waiting for that moment for a long time. Thanks, Bill, Ken, Daniel, Drizzle, Andrea, and JazziCabbage. Score by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt, Patreon, Tim Roberts, Daniel Holker, Nostalgic. I have to just go back and say thank you to the Patreon, because really, if you like, subscribe, share, and all that other stuff, it's really great. It's good for us, and it's good for our content, and we'll just get better and better and better in time. So
By
thank you,
subscribing,
Tim.
you too can fulfill a minor goal.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Maybe
Art Media,
even a major goal.
Couchfire Media, and Trois Rebelay Productions. Thank you for writing the book and all the other stuff you do. Subscribe and become a citizen. That means you. If you subscribe, you will then become a citizen in the SSA. And that means something. Subscribe today, soldier. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you guys.